the day is starting for the flower show. Now, the combination is, I will turn my chair around just wait a second so you can see. Today we are going to work on apples and knives. I bought some apple books, okay? This is one apple book. This is another Wage apple book. Mommy? Okay. This is another Wage apple book. This is another. And another. And the next thing I have to show you is just some paint pots and markers. Okay? Now here's the thing. The book that we're going to read today is, last time it didn't work, but this time I think it does work. And I'm going to put all these extra books away. Okay? And I'm going to go make each one call. Wait, no. And then we will work on our books. Hi, this is Mrs. Goshaw. Oh, hi. Oh. Ooh. Well, what lady are you? Oh. Well, goodbye. Now, here's the thing. If you know, because this is Thomas and the Great Discovery, and I'm going to read to you and see what it is like, okay? So I want you to listen real careful. One morning, Thomas was at the wharf. He was with Duncan and James. But Duncan was tricky. He liked to tease little engines. I will help you. You big engines do not know the trucks in the hills. Mommy, make sure I can see you. You big engines don't know the trucks in the hills. Oh, of course we do, said Thomas. We know all the trucks in the hills and all the ways to the wharf. Thank you. He's shaky. When Thomas popped into Great Waterton, he discovered a very, very hidden town. The tower was fallen with bricks and coal on top of it instead of bricks. And an ivy-covered station with grass all over it, and a fine window for keeping. Bless my boils, said Thomas. He had never seen an amazing sight before. Attentionally. The factory floor said, the water pipes forward everybody for water. There are tons of pipes. But Thomas was too excited to listen. The factory floor told Thomas that he had made a wonderful discovery. Thomas was pleased. Thomas was going too fast around the coals. Then he tumbled down the grass, his load crashed down to the bank, and he was in trouble. Hurried Hovey got his queen on, he put Thomas on his queen on, and he rescued Thomas. Stanley and Thomas were with the second foal. They were both at Great Waterton. Tonight, Jack and Alfred will roll the level into the Great Halls tonight. And this means very hard work in the morning. Very complicated work in the morning. All of you will shunt the freight cars towards the sidings. All the other engines left. Thomas was no longer in charge, and he felt like he was no longer wanted. The next day, Thomas was shunting freight cars, and then he saw an old mine. Then all the other engines were asleep, but not Thomas. "If I shunt the freight cars into the sidings," bragged Thomas, "then all the trucks can be cleared in the morning." So he shunted them away into one big, long siding. And then he saw one more truck. It rolled in front of a mine. "I will fix that." So Thomas trucked back, and when he did it, he bit the car too hard, and it disappeared into the mine. When it did, Thomas looked inside. And then he went inside. Thomas was happy he had a lit lamp, but it was too dark. Suddenly, Thomas heard the freight car rolling disappear around the wind into the rain. "I must chase that car," said Thomas. In the tunnel, Thomas was having a fun time when the last part of the tunnel was blocked with water and rocks, and with a splash he landed in the water. He was floating slowly along the edge of the shift. Then the full shift arrived to rescue Thomas. The next morning, James, Percy, Stanley, Toby, Emily, and all the other engines were at Great Waterton Station. Where could Thomas be?" said Stanley. The other engines thought very, very hard. They thanked their health, but they did not know where Thomas was. Second Fool said, "This is a very, very complicated state of emergency. I need all engines that work for Thomas." The engines hooted their whistles. Stanley went to the tunnel. He saw what was inside. Then he saw Thomas. He was in the water. Then Stanley rescued Thomas. And Thomas was out of the tunnel. Thomas and Stanley were reversing to the end of the tunnel. Then Thomas saw a thick wall of bushes. Thomas crashed through them and landed down the ravine. He flew down and hit the ground with a big, terrible bang. Thomas fell down the bushes and screeched to a big, slow stop by a field. Then he saw he had landed right next to an old wooden track. "How am I going to get onto that track?" thought Thomas. Then he heard I'll blow my whistle one more time. Stanley ran down the line. Then he blew his whistle. And this time, Thomas held it. Then with one slow puff and one terrible, very terribly big puff, Thomas blew the longest and loudest whistle. And then Stanley was there. Thomas told Stanley all about his adventure in the line. Stanley was amazed. Did you fall? I did. Well, good thing I rescued you. But then, Stanley heard a crash in his brain. Stanley was a very strong engine, but he couldn't have felt littler and stronger. He was very sad. Now, said Thomas, it is my turn to help you and save you, said Thomas. Then Thomas pulled Stanley all the way back to Great Waterton. And Circle Day arrived, and it was my very body of very special engines. And they all had a big thank party for Thomas and Stanley. Then they all heard something very familiar in the sky. Everyone looked up. And Golden, and the other engines. All the people at Great Waterton stared and looked up. All of them in the town, but not in the stores in the town. Looked up, and they could see Jeremy. He was flying. The end. So what happened in this book? What do you think happened? Ooh, good job. Well, next time we are going to learn letters. And that is the end of today. Okay? We're going to watch it.